Many Australian airports increasingly have seriously negative impacts on residents because almost all politicians and big businesses choose profits before people. The good news? These impacts can be lessened when the community fights back. For example, protests eventually led to Sydney Airport's night curfew, a cap on numbers, an independent watchdog, and noise insulation for homes. Unfortunately, most of these aren't planned for the new Western Sydney Airport, which will open in late 2026. Politicians refused to consider a curfew, saying it would undermine the viability of the airport. They refused to put a cap on flight numbers per hour, regardless of day or night. Unlike Sydney's airport, there was no long-term operating plan with built-in community protections. Community pressure eventually led to a home insulation program, but to date only 91 properties will be eligible. The government has focused on all the alleged benefits this airport will bring to the community, but an independent report in 2017 found the government's claims about employment and job creation were only a quarter of the claimed figures. In 2019, an independent noise assessment showed that the proposed flight paths would be much louder than the figures claimed by the government, and the noise would spread much wider as well. This map shows all the proposed flight paths and how very few residents in the area will escape the resulting noise. Another independent report in 2019 found that incorrect and misleading terminology was used in the environmental impact statements. Since 2015, Residents Against Western Sydney Airport has provided the public with researched and balanced information on the impacts of the new airport to counter the misleading data from the government. The objectives? A nighttime curfew between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m, flight caps to limit the number of flights per hour, a long-term operating plan consistent with the current one for Sydney's main airport, redesign all flight paths for both airports to minimise impacts on residents and natural areas, restrict flights over World Heritage areas and areas of high biodiversity, and develop a new regulatory framework that prioritises the safety, health and well-being of people over commercial interests. Visit the Residents Against Western Sydney Airport website to see what action can be taken, such as where to provide feedback, how to attend information sessions, and contacting your local and federal politicians.